It's been 923 days since Rockstar Games released the best Red Dead Online DLC. 923 days is over 2.5 years ago. And what DLC am I referring to exactly? That DLC is Frontier Pursuits. This was and has remained the staple DLC update of Red Dead Online, and it's basically the sole DLC that comes to mind if one were to ask what the most transformative DLC update to Red Dead was. We have other expansions with really fun content like Moonshiners, which personally was my favorite for a few different reasons, or the Naturalist update, which made an original role that released with Frontier Pursuits a lot better. But at the core and at the most fundamental levels, I don't think any update has even come close to transforming RDO as much as Frontier Pursuits did. And today on the show, we will be looking back at this expansion 2.5 years later and discussing what exactly made it so great and why it's regarded as the best content addition this game has ever seen. There's so much to talk about, and I'm sure I won't name everything you have in mind while watching this video, so if you notice I'm missing anything big or major, make sure to let me know by posting a comment below. Let's get started. If you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on this video, and if you want to stay up to date and in the loop with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. Now, starting from the beginning, Frontier Pursuits released on September 10th of 2019, and this was after a grueling 4-month wait from the May 14th, 2019 spring update, which brought Red Dead Online out of beta. And one of the major things that Frontier Pursuits actually did for the game was it completely changed online character movement and combat. Previous to this update, when Red Dead Online was in beta, and for a couple months after the game was out of beta before Frontier Pursuits, Red Dead Online had the same movement as your character would in Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode, both in first person and in third person. It was a lot more slow, grounded. You had to be methodical with the choices you were making because your character was a lot more heavy. The movement was, because of that, a little bit less responsive. And overall, it just took a long time to dive, ready your weapon, start sprinting, get out of gunfights, and things like that. And for PvP, honestly, it made it a little bit more enjoyable, in my opinion, than it is today, just because characters are crouch spamming. They're able to basically come out of a aim down sight with their weapon in a strafing sprint already. They're already moving. They don't need to actually continue to tap the run button, or if they're using standard FPS controls, click L3 in twice just to continue moving. That happens automatically. Your character moves a lot faster when you're ADS, and your strafe speed is a lot faster, both in first and third person. And I do like this for the change for free roam multiplayer, but I do find when they started doing this with Frontier Pursuits, that's when I started to lose my interest in PvP for the most part. I still play from time to time, but I'm mostly a free roam guy now. Now, one of the things also that Rockstar added was, of course, probably the biggest thing in terms of content. They added specialist roles like the Bounty Hunter, Trader, and Collector. And these roles totally changed the progression of Red Dead Online, and basically they changed how a player can make money in gold. And all these roles worked interchangeably too. You can go hunt a bounty, but you're also using the materials back at your camp to produce goods that you could sell later for Trader. And while you're in the middle of a bounty, or even in the middle of a Trader delivery, just pull out your metal detector and you could start finding rare treasure for the collector role that you can sell to Madame Nazar. Players were able to make a ton of money with the collector role, and honestly they still can, but after the collector role has been nerfed twice, both kind of with them adding new routes and new days for collection spawns that just made it a lot harder to memorize, because you used to only have 3 days to memorize, now you have 6. But the other thing is they also kind of nerfed the diggable items like the jewelry, coins, things like that. But overall, the specialist roles really improved the free roam multiplayer in this game. In addition to that, Rockstar did add, for number 3, tons of content and unlockables within those roles and also outside of roles. They added new horses for the roles, different saddles like roll saddles, new ability cards, different weapon tricks, the reinforced lasso, the bolus, metal detector, shovel, stew pot, weapons locker, satchel upgrades for ingredients, tonics, valuables, and more. We got the bounty hunting wagon, the trader delivery wagons, both medium and large. We got more weapon medals. We got the hunting wagon. We got Outlaw Pass debut, which basically the debut of the Outlaw passes and all of the content, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But there's so much within the roles and outside of the roles that released in terms of content and items and equipment that players can actually buy, and we haven't seen that amount of content that's been added to the game at any one time. We had new roles like Moonshiner and the Naturalist and the Bounty Hunter expansion, which all had their own little bit of unlockables and purchases, but nothing quite to the caliber that Frontier Pursuits did. Number 4, Rockstar did a lot of quality of life improvements and much needed content balancing. One of those would be, I guess you could consider changing the online character movement and combat, but another thing was that they nerfed ability cards, they made changes to them, they nerfed Never Without One, so now, you know, when your hat gets shot off, you can't reapply it in the middle of PvP. If you have your hat and you're using the Never Without One ability card, someone shoots the top of your hat, it falls off, and that's kind of it for the rest of that life. How it used to work before was you could just change your posse outfit right in the middle of a gunfight and you could respawn, or not even respawn, your hat just spawns back on your head, basically allowing you to take unlimited headshots as long as you kept putting that hat back on yourself. And they also nerfed Never Without One for this example in the sense that it doesn't just count, they could shoot you in like the neck and the chin or just square in the face before, and it would just knock your hat off. Now, if you get shot in the neck or the chin or right between the eyes, you are going to die. It only is actually if they shoot like the top 20% of your head, maybe even top 15% of your head. So that range of you getting that headshot is very small. But like I said, for number 5, we had the Outlaw Pass system that debuted, and this gave additional coupons for discounts, small form cosmetic content, unique outfits, and more levels to chase outside of classic ranks and unlocks. And I think players really like Outlaw Passes in this game. Players also like the new edition of Outlaw Passes, which are now Quick Draw Clubs, which are just the Outlaw Passes split up into 4, and they're releasing. I would love to see either Outlaw Passes make a return or Rockstar to continue with the Quick Draw Club passes, considering there's just nothing going on in game right now. But that came out with Frontier Pursuits, and that was definitely a welcome change. Rockstar adding battle passes to the game definitely was for the better. The next is we have Camp and World Equipment editions like the Weapons Locker, we talked about the Stew Pot, things like that. But also Rockstar added new free roam events, and the amount of free roam events they added with the roles like the Bounty Hunter, Trader, Collector doubled the previous free roam event count. So there are more things you're getting invited to in the free roam depending on when time you're logged in, what specific time of day it is in the open world. You could start doing a lot more events, and they were really fun. You can make a lot of gold and money with them, and Rockstar has continued to add more since Frontier Pursuits. One of the last things Rockstar did that really transformed the game was they added several dynamic events. So not only did you have the free roam events, which you get invited to in the free roam, and those are either PvP or like PvEVP, but now we also have more dynamic events like the treasure map hunters, where you could find people waving around a treasure map. You could buy it off them or kill them and loot it from them. You could find treasure maps on trees, which are giving you a ton of extra gold and money. They added new rescue missions, and basically you escort people in trouble. You save them from different people with ill intentions or different NPCs with ill intentions, and then you need to deliver them to the safest town or escort them to the safest town, rescue them, whatever you want to call them. Those are two different scenarios, rescue and escort dynamic events. But really, that's everything that Rockstar did to this game, and that's what made Frontier Pursuit so amazing in my opinion. We've seen some really good updates since, like Moonshiners, Naturalist, the Bounty Hunter expansion, etc. Overall, I would say the trend is heading downwards in the sense of size and scale of these updates, which is something I'm not a fan of. But Frontier Pursuits as well, it should be noted, as much as I love Frontier Pursuits, for Rockstar Games and what they do with GTA Online and GTA 5, Frontier Pursuits would be considered a small to medium-sized update for GTA Online. So it is the biggest we've ever seen with Red Dead, but it's actually one of the smaller ones, or maybe more middle-of-the-road, medium-sized updates that GTA Online would have received. And that just lets you know kind of what's going on with this game right now. 2.5 years later, we need something else. We need a Frontier Pursuits Part 2. I don't think role expansions would do the trick. If we got role expansions for every single role besides the Bounty Hunter, because we got that one a year ago, I think that would be a good update. That would be something a lot of players want, but I don't think it would absolutely transform the game like Frontier Pursuits did. We need a new transformative update like that. You know, the new progression apart from roles in this game. I would love to get your thoughts on that. With all that said, though, that's all we have time for today. We're going to be wrapping things up right here. Tomorrow is week 4 of the Bounty Hunter event for March, and that will leave just one final week after that for you to get your Bounty Hunter grind in and make as much money as possible, if that's what you are interested right now. We'll see what happens next after that, and if there's any other news, I will make sure to update you guys. But with all that said, hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.